Just because you've watched someone for years and love their content doesn't mean they always get it right. In the race for views, some of the YouTube woodworkers have forgotten few minor things, like if their projects are safe and well thought through. We live in times where some of your viewers trust you almost blindly, so it's important for us to think before we film. Today we're looking at DIY candle holders. They're easy and apparently quite profitable. So without further ado, let's get it done. Starting with Ronnie's workshop and his 2x4 candle holder video sitting at a completely casual 1.8 million views. 1.8 million for a candle holder from a 2x4. Let's see what all that 1.8 million people were so excited about. And we're off to a flying start, chopping 3.5 inches off a 2x4. Simple stuff. Changing the table saw angle away from 90 degrees. My last favorite thing in woodworking. But 30 degrees it is. Fence at 3 inches. Run it on all 4 sides. Things I do for 1.8 million views worth of content. Now we need to find the center of this masterpiece. Shouldn't be too difficult. Famous last words. Don't use this one very often, but finally got my hands on one, courtesy of a generous friend. A pillar drill is absolutely recommended when you need repeatable straight holes. The alternative is me with a handheld drill, which apparently looks like something between a wobble and a struggle. Not a great image, trust me. I've had some close calls with a pillar drill in the past, so we're not taking any chances today. Simple clamped fence and a clamp holding this piece, because apparently I need my fingers for my day job. Better safe than sorry seems reasonable here. Moving on to DK Builds, 111,000 subscribers, very respectable. This candle holder is borrowed from another creator apparently, but he explains it clearly in his video. Requirements: a 2x4 and a matchbox. I quit smoking, so a matchbox is not something I keep around anymore. Fortunately 3D printers exist and I made one. Now the truly exhausting part, deciding where the matchbox is going to live. I've marked it somehow and kept my fingers firmly crossed that it won't interfere with anything else. Solid engineering process. David recommends cutting this deep groove on a table saw, and on any other day I might agree. Not today, but so it is. 10 fingers remains the goal and I intend to finish this video with the same number I started with. Yes, it might be a little loose, but let's not forget where you are. This is Rare Craftsman, and our motto has always been and will always be, close enough is good enough. Matching the matchbox width now, purely to create the illusion that a competent and experienced professional was involved in this build at some point. Very important illusion to maintain. Now find the middle of the box, mark it carefully, and we're reuniting with today's undisputed star of the show, the drill press. Borrowed, appreciated, and absolutely not going back without putting in a proper shift first. Next up, Avery Street Design Studio, sitting at impressive 367,000 subscribers. Many of you requested this one, so here we are. Request granted. Let's see what all the fuss is about. These guys are using pallet wood. I haven't got any, so I'm not going to surprise anyone by reaching for the trusty 2x4. We're also making our version shorter and suitable for tea lights, because apparently I make every project my own, whether I plan to or not. For the original version, go check out their video. This amazing piece holds 3 tea lights, so even spacing is essential. Let's at least get that right. The original also uses jute rope for decoration, which genuinely made me laugh and actually proves my point rather nicely. I'll explain that later. For now, let's crack on. I've spared you the sanding until now, but there is simply no project without it, so here we are. You're welcome for the delay at least. I decided also to chamfer everything on this one, purely to create the impression that a nice professional finish was the plan all along. Avery Studio just wrapped jute rope around theirs and call it a day. I, however, cut a dedicated channel for it on a table saw. Precisely calculated, perfectly planned. Or at least that's what we're telling people. Quick sand on the edges and we're into the final step. Almost there. And after everything that happened in this build today, nobody is more ready for that than me. There is nothing advanced about attaching jute rope. Hot glue and the sheer power of imagination is all that's needed here. Between the two of them, we should end up with something reasonably presentable, hopefully. Time to address the elephant in the room, and I suspect some of you already see it. These are lovely pieces, but I would never build them for sale. Why? Highly flammable materials and open flames are a terrible combination. Avery Design Studio helpfully made theirs even worse by adding jute rope, essentially a very decorative fire hazard. I wanted to show how fast this burns, but my entire workshop is made from wood, so this idea was quickly abandoned. Bottom line, please just don't make these. Likes and comments are completely free, so there is really no excuse. Hit that like button before you go anywhere. Something worth watching is waiting below, and I'll see you next Sunday. Have a great week.